Welcome, everybody, to the Region 4 State Basketball Finals from the UTSA Convocation Center. The Madison Mavericks raced out of the basketball corral with a 30-point win over Weslaco. The Lamar Alexander Bulldogs held on to edge the Clark Cougars by 1. It's the road to Austin and the state championship. Stay tuned. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the UTSA Convocation Center. It's basketball time in Texas for the first time ever. The Madison Mavericks and the Laredo Alexander Bulldogs are sending teams into the regional finals here in the 5A competition for the road to Austin. They want to win that championship, and they're well on their way. I'm Gary DeLon along with Lincoln Rose, and boy, we expect a great ball game because these two teams can jack it up.
They really can, Gary, and again, 5A, the biggest and the best, as Madison's opponent found out the other night, also among the quickest in the state. This is as good as it gets. There are 3 other regions underway today. Each champion will advance to Austin, Texas, the Irwin Center, and try to fulfill that dream they've sought after all season long.
Last night, it was Madison winning by 30 over the Weslaco Panthers, and of course, Laredo defeated the Clark Cougars in a game where they shot 9 3-pointers. They were putting them up from 16:04.
Yeah, some long-distance shots, and we may very well see that again today. The difference is Madison, 5 players listed at 6'6" or higher. They might be able to get their hands up in the faces of some of the shooters by the end of the night.
And, of course, John Valenzuela played 15 players against his Weslaco opponent, whereas Luis Valdez played only 8 players against the Clark Cougars. So, stamina may be a factor.
It really could. Madison able to rest their players, got a lead out early. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, Laredo Alexander having to play all night long, only 4 scores for them. We'll see what kind of toll that took.
It should be a dandy.
Guys, you had to know this was coming.
Actually, we feel blindsided. We just weren't expecting you to block us.
Well, after last week's episode, what am I going to do? There are children in this house, Marcelo. You tell me you're all going to go straight and start acting like kittens? Stop shivving each other in the prison yard?
Shanking.
What?
It's a verb. To shank.
Look, I'm not asking you to change your ways. I'm just blocking you so the kids can't see. Now, who wants lemonade?
Here are the starters for the Bulldogs of Laredo Alexander. You'll have Chris Martinez. He's a 5'8" junior. You'll have David Barrego. He is a 6-foot junior. Eric Cardenas, a 5'11" senior. Andy Garcia is a 5'8" junior. And Abraham Paz is a 6'3" senior. Even though they're introducing all of the kids, those are your starters for the Luis Valdez Fighting 5 from Laredo, Texas. Now, in just a moment, we'll look at the Madison Mavericks, and this is the first time, Lincoln, I've seen the entire teams introduced.
Well, Gary, it's a big deal for both these communities, and they do want to honor each and every player that's worked hard all season long. For one of these teams, the season ends tonight. Another one will have their ticket stamped to Austin, Texas.
1 game away, 32 minutes away from adding another chapter to the unprecedented basketball histories of these two schools, because no matter which school advances to Austin, it's the first time they've ever gone to the state tournament, first time they've ever been here. So Luis Valdez graduated from UTSA, played at Laredo Martin, and boy, what a great job he's done for these Bulldogs. Madison Mavericks, John Valenzuela coached at Smithson Valley. Now he is the head guy at Madison. Right now he could run for any office he wanted to in that Madison community, because he has been a great one. Let's go to the starting lineup for the Madison Mavericks, even though they're probably going to introduce all the players. It will be Cody Lotta. He's a 6', 160-pound senior. Larry Wilkins, the big guy inside, going to the Citadel. He's 6'6", 235, a senior. Cameron Catlett, he's only a sophomore, but he has been a steady player, 6'3", 180. And then The guy going to Notre Dame, recruited by about 35 different schools, Carlton Scott, 6'8", 200 pounds. He's a senior, did not play last year because of a broken leg. And probably the other starter would be the guy who had 18 points in the semifinal game against Weslaco is Rashawn Jackson, 6'6", a junior. So not only do they have some seniors on this team, they've got a lot of guys coming back.
Well, and Gary, you noted the two guys who everybody's talked about all season long. That's Wilkins and Scott in the front court. But with that large lead the other night, they were able to see some significant guard play. And as you noted, the high scorer was not one of these two young men going to the Citadel or Notre Dame. Instead, one of their younger guards.
And Travis Smith came off the bench for 16 points. So, well, they introduced the whole team, but now you are getting the starters now. And that you see Cody Lava there. He's the point guard. He's the one that makes it work in the backcourt. And as we told you, you'll have Cameron Catlett. He is the sophomore. He has been a great player for John Valenzuela. The key player offensively, even though he didn't score that many points last night, Carlton Scott going to Notre Dame. You just saw Rashawn Jackson introduced. And there's Carlton. Great young man. His parents are in the military. Came here 2 years ago. And the final starter, Larry Wilkins, the big guy in the middle.
Neither one of these teams had an easy track here. In fact, however, Madison was able to basically demonstrate what speed can do for you last night in their victory against Weslaco. But meanwhile, the Laredo squad, Alexander High School, able to make the trip up north to San Antonio. They don't have the size that the Mavericks have, but they have had the determination. You hear all the time, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Well, these Bulldogs may not have the size physically, but last night they were able to show the shooting range to able to prevail over the Clark Cougars.
They lost 2 times this season. Ed Couch Elsa 92-90, then they lost to Laredo Martin, Luis Valdez alma mater. And they didn't have their starting guard in one of those games. So we're ready to go. The Region 4 finals at UTSA Convocation Center. And Wilkins has been able to get the tip in just about every game. Up, and he does. Catlett on the left side low to Jackson. Going to the left wing, now back out to Jackson. Lotta for 3. Off the mark.
Mavericks have some high flyers. Nice rebound there in the post. That's going to draw the foul. But again, right there early on, you saw the jumping ability of the Mavericks. However, the call will go the other way.
Last night, they started off with a 35-13 lead at halftime. And Laredo led Clark by 6 at halftime. They're going to put on that full court zone trap press, which worked beautifully. Watch out for this guy, Chris Martinez. He is the pumper outside. He'll put it up from 1604. Cross court. They come back out front. You see that it's almost a 3-2 zone. Now it comes back over just above us. Nick Ramos. Very deliberate game, though, Lincoln, so far.
Wilkins is guarding Cardenas right now in the low post and has been able to close down a couple of open shots early, and there you see Wilkins with another rebound.
Yep, and he leaves it to Lotta. He can't save it. Turnover. The fast break. Watch out for the 3. I thought maybe Cardenas would pop it, but he didn't. Goes back over quickly to Garcia. And he gives it off over to Ramos. Trying to drive Martinez. Still has it on the dribble. They're very patient.
Well, and you notice the Mavericks are keeping that ball out of the paint. They are forcing this to become a perimeter game. Alexander excelled at that the other night. We'll see if they're able to get some shots here tonight.
Fake 3, and here it is. Boom! You hit it right on the nose.
Andy Garcia picking up right where he left off the other night. Garcia with 5 straight three-pointers made last night in the semifinals.
And Carlton Scott about 6 feet away counters, but it's 3-2 early. Goes quickly out to Ramos. Double team, tries to get rid of it. And stolen. Lotta will lead it. And up and in. And that is to Carlton Scott.
When you bring that ball across the timeline, you don't want to be picking it up, risking that backcourt right there. A double team was able to trap it. Mavericks able to force the turnover.
4-3 early. 5:30 to play. First quarter. Stutter step dribble. And the scoop. It's no good. There's Wilkins.
Yeah, he thought he had some contact, Martinez. But
these guys, the Dallas officials are kind of letting him play a little bit. Three-pointers no good by Lotta.
And that time they are going to get the call on the floor going the other way. So a rare whistle, as you pointed out. This crew from Dallas did a good job the other night. And well, half of the arena doesn't approve of the call, but that's going to be the case all night long.
Yeah, it's going to be the way it is. Is that zone trap press again? And you can see they're going to try to make them go inside, but without the height, I don't know if they will. Now here's the playmaker again, Martinez. He's the guy that tries to make it go. Ramos, picked up by Lotta. Back over to Martinez. Underneath, and tipped away as saving it was Ryan Cruz. But it will go out of bounds underneath. The Bombardier now looking for the target. Martinez gets it quickly over to Garcia. Picked up by Lotta again. They go low right. Fake three. Garza doesn't take it. Gets a pick out front, and there's a whistle. And a foul.
Well, you saw how far away he was when he faked the three, and you wonder, well, why would the Mavericks even consider biting on that? That's because they were probably paying attention the other night. You were here. The Bulldogs are not scared to pull the trigger from anywhere.
Not. They'll do it anywhere. Ball's intercepted and then right back into the hands of the Bulldogs. In the corner. Three. Martinez. Air ball. You won't see that often. Lotta. Fast break.
They like to run.
In the corner. Fake shot. Didn't go. Catlett back out to Scott. Carlton pops it. No good. And the little guy goes up to get it in the tall timber. Long pass. Almost intercepted. With a drive into the forecourt. And it's knocked out of bounds as Garcia tried to go in with it.
We're seeing some dangerous passes from the Bulldogs early on here. There you saw the cross-court pass, just not enough on it. Luckily got to a teammate. This other one deflected by the Mavericks out of bounds.
4-3 score early. Martinez drives, kicks it out, the three. Boom!
One solid motion, no wasted time by Cardenas. Got the ball and was ready to shoot.
6-4, traveling. The Mavericks are not starting off with the same steady pace they had last night. Of course, it's a different team, too, but they hit their first 5 shots last night.
And again, another look, just catch and release, three-pointer, and that's giving the Bulldogs their 2-point advantage.
Out front, Garcia comes over quickly to Cardenas. They swing it to the right side. Ramos, the three is no good this time. Right back into the Bulldogs' hands. Baseline. Cardenas. They go quickly over to Cruz. The loss, but here's the drive. And knocked out of bounds. Good rejection. Underneath by Jackson.
Yeah, good penetration by the Bulldogs that time. Cruz finally getting into the paint. He just forgot about the athleticism and size of the defender right behind him. Here you have another good look.
That was Scott, not Jack. They're both there, but Scott makes the block.
That's going to stand a timeout. We will keep it right here, but here you have another look.
They're not afraid, you know. The Bulldogs are not intimidated by the athleticism of the Mavericks, and that's been evident so far. 6-4 early.
You get the feeling the Bulldogs are going to stay persistent no matter what happens all night long. Mavericks had plenty of confidence coming into the night, and why not? They had the blowout win at the previous level, and today their warm-ups basically consisted of a slam dunk contest.
What got Clark in trouble against the Bulldogs in the semifinals was 9 fouls were called on Clark early against only 1 against the Bulldogs. And those free throws really cost you. Martinez. Here's the popper. In and out. That was taken by, of course, Garcia. Wilkins brings it down. in the forecourt. Catlett underneath. Scott. Good!
Yeah, once the ball gets that deep for the Mavericks, there's nothing you can do about it. Easy 2 points to tie it up.
6-6. Stolen. And a foul is called on the block, and it's going to be called on Nick Ramos.
Good aggressive defense by Ramos. Just a little collision there at half court. Tack on another team foul.
3 minutes to play. So Catlett has gone out on the point guard slot to Lotta in the corner. Scott back out to Cameron Catlett underneath. Alley-oop. Scott!
The Mavericks can play keep away all day long with the height that they have. And right there you saw the combination of height with athleticism. And almost one more display as Mavericks tried to keep that ball alive, but just could not.
This looks like
another great look. Just throw it up there, big man, and the Mavericks can out-jump the Bulldogs all day long.
Martinez goes back over to Ramos, back to Martinez. He's the key, trying to find the combination. They'll only play about 8 players all game long. 8-6, Mavericks early. You're down to 2:15 in the quarter. Martinez pops it. It is no good. Right in the unsuspecting hands, bounces off his hands, and right into the hands of Roshan Jackson. Roshan goes over to Catlett. Lotta in the corner. No good. And Roshan follows. It's no good. He gets it back again. Up and in. Roshan Jackson.
5 players on the Mavericks listed at 6'6" or taller.
10-6 Mavericks. Garcia out front. Go to the right side.
Tallest Bulldogs are actually, I believe, with the tubas in the band section.
Cruz. Picked up by... Now here's Wilkins comes out to pick up Cruz.
Yeah,
Martinez. Here's a 3. Looks good. No good, but it's a 3-point foul.
Yeah, you got to call that. Coming right into the shooter. No theatrics there. 3 free throws coming up.
Roshan Jackson and John Valadez did not want that foul. And you'll have a substitution. Charlie Harper will come in momentarily. Laredo just doesn't miss many free throws. This is Ramos. Gets another one. And that's not Ramos. That's Cardenas. So he makes it 10-8.
A couple fresh Bulldogs checking in. Another Mavericks match.
Cruz goes out. Charlie Harper's in. Now going out will be Ramos. Third shot is good. 3 in a row. Yeah, 10-9.
Cardenas now with 6 of the Bulldogs' 9 points on the evening.
Scott in the corner to Lotta. Fakes a 3. He says, I'll take it. Off the mark. No good. And Scott is knocked down. It's going to be called on... I'm not sure who got the call.
Looks like number 20 for the Bulldogs.
Abraham Paz.
Yeah.
And that could have been a very serious fall to the floor for Carter and Scott. Now coming in for the Mavericks is another kid that's played really well, Kevin Simmons. In the corner, the shot. Good.
And we've got a whistle underneath as well.
No
They're
good.
going to call off the basket.
No good.
So instead of possibly a 5-point possession going one way, they're going to have instead 3 points taken off the board.
Well, that was a good call. So now they go back into that full-court press again. And you see Cameron Catlett picking up Martinez in the backcourt. And he scoots and shoots into the forecourt. Double team. And intercepted by Scott. Long pass. Up. And in.
5% shot right there. As the Mavericks will continue to have that option all night long if they can outrun the Bulldogs and get an open man in the paint.
Roshan Jackson putting on a show.
Bulldogs just have not been crisp with their passes. They tend to heave them up.
Martinez may go. He will go up. Shovels it off. And what a rejection out of the hands of Roshan Jackson. That's what they do so well. Catlett. Baseline. And out of bounds, knocked out by the Bulldogs.
And again, 15-9 here with that ball going out of bounds. They very easily could have called a foul as well. Either way, the whistle will stop the play, and it will be Maverick ball.
Catlett to inbound it. Looks for Scott. Comes over to Carlton. Carlton to Harper. They swing it. Back over. Up, and reverse layup is no good. Scott tries to follow. He can't get it, and it's taken by the Bulldogs.
That'll be a
kicking of the ball.
The Mavericks, again, they can play this heave the ball up there all night long trying to get the alley-oop, but they need to make sure they do stay in a consistent offense and don't get sloppy.
So Lotta comes in, back in, and we have another substitution coming in. That's going to be Duran is coming in. And Scott's going to get a, not Scott, it was, I guess, Jackson getting a rest.
Yeah, Mavericks already showing off their depth.
Yes, they are. Charlie Harper's in there, Lotta's in there. Duran, he's one of the quicker Mavericks. They're all pretty quick. Foul is called, though, on Duran.
Yeah, the quick reach in. Quick hands, but just not quick enough that time. And that will be the 15th foul against the Mavericks.
Same thing happened in that game yesterday. Ball goes in quickly to Davila. Has it on the dribble, picked up by Duran. And gets a pick out front. And here's the three. It will be no good. As at the buzzer, Eric Cardenas misses a long bomb. And it's 15-9 after one.
Yeah, even if it had gone, I don't think it would have counted. The whistles of the officials blowing in time. They're going to confer.
And with a score of 15-9, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Second quarter begins, 6-point lead for the Mavs. Duran now goes to the left side. Goes across court to Harper. To Lotta. He's missed 3 threes. He missed that one. He's 0 of 4. And there's a whistle and a foul. Could be a foul on the Mavericks underneath.
Good wide open look. That is the 6th team foul of the half for the Mavericks. Next foul will be sending him to the line.
So Lotta has missed 4 threes. And there's the ball almost still. Duran gets it and falls out of bounds with it. Nice hustle, though, by Julian.
And the far side official right there on the line, making the right call. Bulldogs will continue with the possession. Again, 15-9.
Trying to get the ball in as Cruz gets it off to Martinez. And he will perambulate across the 10-second line. Goes to the right side. Duran still on him. He'll pop a 3. No good. In and out. And ball is taken. Nice save. Wilkins leads the fast break. The big guy will hold up. Gives it back out to Duran. Or rather to Lotta. Lotta to Duran. Duran swings it to the left, right side. Bad pass. Who was he throwing that to? He threw that halfway to Babcock Road.
Yeah, the Mavericks are tall, but not quite that tall. They do look good on this court, don't they? They're the home team from San Antonio, blue and orange. And
the ball's almost stolen. It is stolen, but right back in the hand. Good recovery there by Martinez. And now Ramos gets rid of it in the corner. Over quickly to Cardenas. Cardenas back over to Martinez. Martinez. A 3. No good. Oh, did you see that go up above the rim? But did Carlton Scott go to the timber? Lotta has missed 4 shots, and he throws the ball away.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fast break. It's a 1-on-2 fast break, and now here's another 3. It is good. Beautiful shot by Garcia. Hits his second 3. That's 3 threes. And that's a 15-12 game. And John Valenzuela says, hey, guys, I've seen enough. Let's take a timeout and call about it.
Mavericks had numbers on one end. They couldn't get the pass off quickly enough. Meanwhile, nice maneuvering there by the young Bulldog. Able to free himself up. Did not have numbers, but he did have the open look.
They'll stop from anywhere on the court and put it up. 15-12. You got 6:42 showing on the first quarter clock. It'll be Maverick basketball in the backcourt. Good close-up of Andy Garcia with his 2 threes. You know, it doesn't make a difference who's in there. They'll all put them up. Last night, he didn't hesitate either.
You know, in the past 5 minutes, you've said Duran, and Andy Garcia.
Hey, that's funny. This is Catlett to Jackson. In the corner to Wilkins. It's that pressing 2-3 zone in the corner. Cross court. Oh, they throw those long passes. Harper for, bad shot. Tip is no good, and it's cleared under by the much shorter Bulldogs. And that was a good hustle by Ramos. Martinez. Back at it comes quickly over to Cardenas. And he'll take it. No good this time. Air ball right into the hands of Martinez. And was that a pass or a miss shot? Not sure.
They'll say it's a pass.
There's a shot again, and no good.
Moving screen on the Bulldogs. Going to give the ball back to the Mavericks. Again, they're not shy about taking those deep threes, but if that doesn't draw iron, that ball's going to go to somebody in a white jersey.
15-12. I tell you what, the Bulldogs are hanging tough. 5:57 to play. Stamina may be a key. That's the bench strength of the Mavericks. Cameron Catlett gets a pick out front from Scott in the corner. One taken, no good. Wilkins has the rebound. Goes up and zips and sips and no good. And they're missing a lot of shots underneath. There's another foul.
Yeah, another over-the-back call by the Mavericks. They are more athletic. They can out-jump the Bulldogs, but right now, Bulldogs are just getting better position.
And better shots and more production on their shots.
Mavericks still hanging on to that three-point advantage, 15-12.
It was 15-9 at the end of one.
Yeah. Mavericks just have not had the offensive output yet.
And Ramos will go to the line. He can bring them to within one. Lotta. Catlett. And here's the shot. It's no good. He missed a very unusual free throw. That's not often you see that. And it's taken down into the forecourt by Catlett in the corner. And the travel. Yeah. Mavericks are a little too eager.
Feet were a bit quicker than the dribble.
Yep. That was Travis Smith, who had a great night in the semifinals. 15-12, 5:25 to play. Martinez double teamed in the backcourt. He's going to have to hurry to get it away. And nice steal. And this is to Larry Wilkins. He will try to drive all the way under, kicks it off in the corner. Here's another three. Finally, he hits one.
The three-pointer, but what's lost in all of that is the big man handling the ball and dropping dimes.
Very impressive, 17-12. And hey, this is another Smith drive. Blocking. No, are they going to call a charge or a block?
They're calling that a player control foul. The charge on the Mavericks will give the ball back to the Bulldogs.
John Valenzuela questions that.
That is 18 fouls on the Mavericks.
I don't blame him. I think that was a moving pick. I mean, a moving block. Yep, he moved.
Yeah.
Should have gone the other way.
It was just so violent that the officials felt they had to call it on the offense.
Long pass quickly over to Ramos in the corner. Ball is almost knocked away.
Quick hands.
And Scott's on him in the corner. Here's the shot. It looks good and misses it. Redden getting it. Oh, my goodness. That should have been a foul. It is. That was a tough foul, too.
Got to call that one when the offensive player hits the court after being tripped.
Ryan Cruz gave him a forearm shiver.
But again, only 2 points this quarter for the Mavericks.
With 4:40 to go. Almost halfway through, and that's very unlike them. It was 35-13 at halftime against Weslaco.
Bulldogs was only 14 fouls, can afford to foul in the late stretch.
Lotta. Catlett, corner to Scott. No good on the left-handed push. And now the Bulldogs are getting their share of the boards. That was a nice rebound by Cruz to Martinez. 17-12, Martinez. Picked up by Lotta. Back out it quickly goes to Garcia. He will dribble it. He gets a pick. He tries to go all the way under. Up and good! What a great play.
He had to alter his shot.
He sure
the
did.
defender was coming in, and you almost thought that was going to create a missed shot. Instead, got the friendly roll.
8 points for Garcia. Three-pointer. No good. But all alone, getting a rebound is Smith. Back out it goes to Scott. He'll take one. It's no good. It's bounding high. And out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like a Maverick touched it last. That's what the officials will call.
The Mavericks are not hitting their shots. They're not. No. I think they're maybe in a hurry. The ball is stolen. Great steal in the backcourt. And in the corner, the three. No good. Scott, no good. The follow is up and in. This time it's by Latta.
Plenty of second chance opportunities there on the offensive boards, and the Mavericks have another chance here. Bulldogs getting the fortunate foul in that case, preventing the easy two.
It's 19-14. There's another foul. Boy, the fouls are mounting up.
The Mavericks have not been hot shooters tonight, but they have had plenty of opportunities in the paint, and of course we've noticed all night long they can play above the rim, and that's a high percentage opportunity each and every time.
And it will be, I'm not sure who that foul was called on. Oh, it's on Ramos. Catlett.
Yeah, that's his second.
Gets a
5 team
pick.
fouls.
Back out to Scott. Underneath. And Wilkins can't handle it.
A lot of congestion, and the officials are just going to let him play.
Yep. He was triple teamed and got rid of the and had the ball knocked away. Zephering into the forecourt. Davila, the three. Good!
Davila might as well be on the bench taking that shot from the kind of range he showed there. Long distance.
My goodness, another three. 19-17.
You want to dial it that far away from long distance, might as well have digital phone with you.
19-17, 3 to go. And the referee wants to throw it in again.
Yeah, they're going to replay it, I believe. Take another look at that. Right in front of his opposing head coach.
Right near that Roadrunner insignia over there.
They're not shy. That was an AC Law-esque type of shot.
2:50 to go. Right side, Latta. Cross court. Here's a three. It's good. And coming back is Smith was his three. 22-17, 2:40 to play. And almost, it is stolen by Catlett after the tip by Smith. Smith will fake, goes up. And the alley-oop is no good. Wilkins tries to go up. He shoots it anyway. It's no good. And bringing it down again is the Bulldogs. And again, it was a rebound by Ramos. And on the far side, here's the three. It's no good air ball. And it's going to be Maverick basketball.
Mavericks have had plenty of opportunities because of some poor passing by the Bulldogs, but the Mavericks themselves try to get too fancy with the alley-oop instead of just putting it off the glass for two.
Be more patient. You have to be patient no matter how much athleticism you have. Catlett gets a pick from Scott. And they bounce it over to Smith. No good. Yes, it is. Oh, he got a roll.
Yeah, that's the hometown roll.
That's 2 threes for Smith. 25-17. Long pass up court. Almost out of bounds. And double team. Martinez will have it. Kicks it up. Good. What a great scoop. Oh, man.
You give an assist to a player who actually wanted to pass it to somebody else.
Smith is feeling it.
His own teammate intercepted that pass on one end. Mavericks, however, able to respond on the opposite end, 28-19.
Travis Smith has got the field. He's in the zone. They're going to have a hard time getting this ball up. Finally, timeout. Martinez made a good call because they would not have had the time to get it over in 10 seconds.
You noted the fatigue aspect.
Yes.
Bulldogs have yet to be able to simply bring it across half court with ease. Each time Mavericks have had a couple guys back there with the press. We'll see how that comes in to the second half if it's a factor.
3 threes by Travis Smith, 1 3 by Cody Latta. So they're showing they can hit from downtown as well. And you've got 2 threes by Cardenas, 2 threes by Garcia. Now unofficially, and there you see Smith. You talk about a splendid splinter. That kid has got a gnaw, doesn't he? John is very vocal in the huddle. So you guys got to be more patient on offense and get your shots.
Can you imagine you've got to be more confident with your long-range shooting, just to take the shot when in doubt, because you know you've got some big men underneath to get the boards.
Absolutely. 34-2 for the Bulldogs, 35-4 for the Mavericks. Ball is inbounded. Martinez again being challenged and gets it over quickly to Paz. Yeah! Great shot by Paz.
Able to split the uprights of the defenders.
28-21. Cameron Catlett. Right, left. Looks for help. And decides to go over to Latta. There was a slap. If he didn't call it. Laredo in the corner. Smith, no good this time, and right into the hands of the Bulldogs. And again, it's Bulldogs controlling the boards offensively.
They need some
or
smart
defensively.
passes.
Left side, Cardenas. And can't get away for a three. Back out it comes to the hot hand. That's Garcia. Puts it on the floor with a dribble. And he loses it. It's going to be stolen on a miscue, and there's a foul in the backcourt.
Yeah, the Bulldogs got a little sloppy there. Garcia just could not handle the ball. May have even palmed it a couple of occasions.
He did.
But that did not draw the whistle. It wasn't until finally a Maverick poked it out.
Paz makes the... no, they don't call it on Paz. They call it on Garcia. Both were there. But it will be the 16 foul, so not yet shooting. Anything else, Will? You're down to 30 seconds. They'll go for one.
Yeah, both teams will be shooting free throws from here on out. That is assuming both teams have possessions again. 24 seconds and counting.
28-21. They'd like to go up by 9. As Catlett would just wait for it. He's taken over the role of Laredo this afternoon as kind of a point guard quarterback. Laredo swing it to the right side. Back to Scott to Laredo. And they go underneath. It's a bad pass, but there should have been a foul on that.
There will be.
Yeah.
Oh. You want to know how to stop the alley-oop? Make sure the guy never leaves his feet.
And Scott, you know, had that broken leg last year, and he gets up slowly, but he gets a pat on the rump from Andrew Paz.
Again, this will not be a shooting foul. This will be a 1-and-1. If you don't have the ball, you can't be in the act of shooting.
I believe this is the first free throw of the evening for the Mavericks. Good. By Carlton Scott, headed for Notre Dame. 5th point for him.
Yeah, one more will make it a 9-point lead going into halftime.
7.6. Second shot. Good.
One last substitution for the Mavericks.
Duran comes in, and he'll replace Wilkins in a defensive move. They want to try to prevent that three. 7.6 in the half. And Martinez races down court like Seabiscuit. Takes a three. No good. That's it. That's the halftime 9-point lead for the moving Mavs against the stubborn, tenacious Bulldogs from Laredo Alexander. 30-21. And we'll be back.
Guys, you had to know this was coming.
Actually, we feel blindsided. We just weren't expecting you to block us.
Well, after last week's episode, what am I going to do? There are children in this house, Marcelo. You tell me you're all going to go straight and start acting like kittens? Stop shivving each other in the prison yard?
Shanking.
What?
It's a verb. To shank.
Look, I'm not asking you to change your ways. I'm just blocking you so the kids can't see. Now, who wants lemonade?
Halftime score 30-21. We've had more fun than Britney Spears at a hair salon. It has been fast and furious action. I'm Gary Lalonde on Lincoln Rose, and we've had a great time. This is the Region 4 Finals at UTSA Convocation Center. Good crowd of maybe 1,400 to 1,800 this afternoon.
Well, sensational crowd. Of course, you've got one team from right here in San Antonio, the Mavericks, and right behind us, Laredo travels very well. It's not just the United School District, it's also Laredo School District, as they've come on to support their community.
Laredo always brings a great contingency, and last night Westico brought up hundreds of people as the Panthers made their first appearance here. You know, as we mentioned earlier, Lincoln, this is an historic time for both of these schools. The Mavericks have never been this far before. Sound like a Conway Twitty song, doesn't it?
Conway Twitty, Duran, Andy Garcia.
So 1976 is when they opened, and we know about their football team, how many times they make the playoffs, but for the basketball team to be this talented and this athletic and to be this far, they've taken the Maverick land by storm.
You got to have one concern. First, we'll look at the highlights, but again, Mavericks with shot attempts like this one, able to grab that 9-point lead at halftime, as they are able to elevate, and they have been able to do so today. Meanwhile, you look at the Bulldogs and what they've been able to do, and the same thing they've done all tournament long.
Andy Garcia, and he gets the roll and gets a nice basket. He's played a heck of a game so far.
And again, Madison able to hustle as well, not only utilizing their athleticism, but also their speed, able to get the turnover and the transition bucket to follow. Something to be concerned about again for the Bulldogs is more shots like this. That's because Madison, of course, had a blowout win their last time out with a 30-21 advantage. 9 points that the Bulldogs have to overcome. They need to have the fresher legs of the two teams, and you're worried that may not be the case.
Both teams hitting very well from the floor. Madison 12 out of 21, Alexander 10 out of 22. And field goal percentage 60.6 and 48.5. Three-point field goal is 5 of 10 for the Mavs. And this is a surprising stat, Lincoln. 4 of 12 for the Bulldogs. You'd think they would have the better stat from three-point range.
Well, again, you've seen the two teams. They know what their strength is. The Bulldogs have been throwing up the three-pointers because they have had success in the past. Meanwhile, if we had a stat showing how many alley-oops were actually connected on, similar struggles would be apparent for the Mavericks. Again, both teams know what their strengths are, but I think they're going to that strength a little too often and just need to play a more round-out game. Mavericks, however, what they've done ultimately has worked. 9-point advantage thanks to a little bit of a scoring streak there at the end of the half.
Now, early in the season, you saw Charlie Harper starting before Rashawn Jackson. But Jackson has come on so impressively. John Valenzuela has been starting him. He got 18 last night against Westlaco. And then Travis Smith, who is listed at 6'4". He looks like he's 6'5". They look like a bunch of clones. They're all very slender, very tall, have got that great jumping ability.
And I'm glad they've got numbers on their back so we can tell them apart.
You're right.
Great athletes.
It will be Bulldog basketball beginning the second half.
Bulldog basketball.
And Cruz gets it to Martinez. And he zips into the forecourt to the right, picked up by Lara. And gets it over quickly to Cardenas, who has 2 threes. I got it goes to Cruz. Martinez. He's the glue, though, that makes this team stick together. Fake 3. Underneath. And the shot is up. It's no good. And this time, they only get that one shot usually. Long pass from Scott. In the corner to Lara. He decides to take one. No good. He's been off. He's got 1 out of 6.
Yeah, wasn't comfortable with the 3. Took a couple steps inside the arc. Still could not drain the shot.
Martinez again will take the boomer. Yeah.
Well,
oh, did he play some string music or not?
Well, he can take a shot a couple steps inside the arc or a few yards away. The Bulldogs going for the ladder.
30-24 Catlett over to Lara. And now they interrupt the alley-oops. Great defensive play. Made underneath, and that was well read by Cruz. Martinez can bring him up now. And Lott is trying to put the pressure on him on the left wing low. Cardenas back out to Martinez.
Bulldogs.
He'll take another one. This one's off. You can see that one left his hand, knocked out of bounds. Should go to the Mavericks. Well, wait a minute. That's they're going to give it back to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldog basketball, and again, they now are within 6 points of the Mavericks already. We'll check in a new man for the
Travis
first time
Smith
in the
comes
half.
in, and Lotta goes out. They want more height apparently under the boards. So it will be inbounded by Martinez. He tries to look in the tall timber, and the ball is mishandled, and Wilkins put great pressure on, and that's why the Bulldogs couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the Mavericks would be wise to continue to put that pressure both in the front court and in the back court throughout the second half and continue to try to wear down the Bulldogs.
Cameron Catlett comes to the left high, doesn't take the pick. This is Rashawn Jackson in the corner to Smith, the left-hander. It's no good. Oh, what a slam dunk on the follow. Beautifully done on the follow by Carlton Scott.
High arcing three-pointer approved for a short rebound and a quick putback.
Now they're putting the pressure on out even higher. And with the ball, it's Garcia underneath. Whistle foul.
First half, we saw a lot of calls go the Bulldogs' way. Now all of a sudden a brand new half, brand new story. This time Mavericks getting the benefit. There you see the follow-up coming up right here. That's elevation for the young man who will be playing at the Division I level next year. Carlton Scott, 6'8", 190 pounds.
Averaging right at 14 points and about 10 boards a game. He and Wilkins are averaging about the same. Catlett gets a pick and decides to get rid of it over in the corner. Now it comes over to Rashawn Jackson, and he travels.
Sometimes that hesitation dribble, you forget to put the ball down quickly enough, take a couple steps, and the official will whistle you for every time.
5:40 to play, and there's a whistle and a foul. And that came unsuspectingly. It's on Catlett. Gave him a little shoulder action. First team foul this quarter. Now it'll be Cruz to inbound it. And quickly gets it in to Martinez. He stops at the detour. And quickly in the forecourt. Cruz. Martinez. Picked up by Catlett. Still has it. Wants to drive. And has it knocked away by Wilkins. It's hard to pass over those big, tall guys. You got to be able to see your teammate.
Yeah, the Bulldogs a lot of times are looking high for their passes. They need to find the lanes a bit lower.
What, did they kick it or what? Not sure what the call was there. Anyway, it goes back over to the Bulldogs. Comes quickly over to Garcia. That would have called a travel in the old days. Don't know why they don't call it anymore. Here's the pop out front. Good. Three-pointer by Andy Garcia.
Yeah, back within 5 points. Here comes the Mavericks, though, trying to get those points back on the board.
Over in the corner. Travis Smith. He can't get it, but right into the hands of Rashawn Jackson. This is up. And it's good. On a good left-handed shot by young Travis Smith. 34-27, 4:50 to play.
That's a strong move by Smith. Put his body, knew there was going to be contact, held that ball up high, and was able to kiss it off the glass for two.
John Valenzuela said just cool it a little bit. Calm down. Well, I tell you what, the Bulldogs have handled the press pretty well. Martinez quickly goes over to Ramos, to Martinez. And comes all the way around with it on the dribble, goes out on the high pass. And handling the ball is the guy with a hot hand there, Cardinals. Now it goes to the other hot guy, Garcia. And he pushes up. Uh-oh. That was over back, but here's the steal. And this is Martinez for three. It looks good. Yes.
Doesn't surprise anybody. Wide open shot, and the Bulldogs take it. Three-pointer brings it back within four. 34-30 for the Bulldogs. And again, both teams were just sloppy on that possession.
Oh, they were. The hot shooting is overcoming the athleticism. Wilkins is fouled.
Yeah, a cheap foul there.
That was Garcia.
Bulldog foul number 10, Andy Garcia, his second.
These guys will, if they've got the eye of a needle, they'll take a shot.
No hand in the face, no rim needed for contact, nothing but net.
Scott in the middle, in the corner rather. And they look in the middle of the pivot. And Wilkins on the charge.
Yeah, they're going to say he cleared out with his opposite arm. That's going to give it back to the Bulldogs. 2 team fouls for both squads.
Wilkins tried to muscle his way in. And now Martinez has it in the backcourt. And Wilkins almost gets another foul. Here's a high pass in the corner. They don't take the three this time. And Martinez does. No good this time, but the little guy gets the rebound.
It's not the way you draw it up. Not the shot and not the little guy getting the rebound.
6 foot Ryan Cruz gets the rebound. Here's another three shot taken no good. This time, Scott gets the rebound.
Yeah, he was hoping for contact to be called on that and just kind of threw up a prayer. Mavericks get the rebound.
34-30. The shot to the corner, it's no good. And it. That was a good follow by Rashawn Jackson.
Yeah, the rebound and 2 expands the lead back to 6 for the Mavericks.
36-30, less than 3 to go in the third. Out on the high left wing, it's Ramos. Now to Martinez again, picked up by Catlett. And they have good defense on that play by Smith. Martinez gets a pick. Still has it, fakes, doesn't shoot. It goes over quickly to Garcia. And here's a dribble to the baseline. Here's a three. Good! Oh my goodness.
Southpaw shooter for the Bulldogs.
Nick Ramos gets his first basket. 36-33. And across court. Scott is fouled. That should be a foul.
Yeah. Got to give the guy a chance to catch the ball and come down on his own 2 feet, but instead Ramos right underneath him.
Bulldog foul number 32.
That will be only the second team foul.
Third team foul.
Again, another good look. Ramos doing good on the opposite end.
Madison 24, Cody Laura.
Able to drain yet another three-pointer, gets the open look. Go ahead and give that assist to Eric Cardenas.
Maverick basketball.
Nada gets it off to Travis Smith. Here's Carlton Scott. He got it. That's only a 2.
Scott.
38-33. Scott gets the bucket. Martinez, 6-point lead, 1:55 to go. Mavericks on top. Martinez still has it on the dribble. And getting pressure from Lotta. Still has it. Quickly comes back over to Cruz. He looks for help. Gets back over to Garcia. And now Cardenas looks for help. Garcia fakes, tries to penetrate. Goes back out to Garcia. And here it is to Cruz. Now, Garcia. Martinez.
Not a single pass into the paint as of yet.
Nope.
Mavericks continue to guard that perimeter.
So they'll take one outside, no doubt. Now a pick is given by Laurel. And that's going to be called on Lotta.
Yeah, he's not happy about it. He winds up bailing out the shooter who throws up a prayer.
At the line for the Bulldogs, number 1, Chris Martinez.
My.
3 shots, shooting 3.
Again, another look.
Air ball, too. No need to foul him.
Chris Martinez taking that shot, hoping for the contact.
They just don't miss on the free throws.
They'll have 2 more coming up. He could bring this within a 2-point difference.
Looks like he is. 6-8-10 unofficially. And now Paz comes in. And going out is Cruz. 38-35 can make it a 2-point lead for the Mavericks. Up and no good. And they fight for it. Now finally coming down with it is Warshawn Jackson, Lotta. Into the forecourt. And almost stolen, but this is Scott. Take one. It's no good. 2 Mavericks are there. And no good. And falling down and traveling is Martinez.
Yeah,
the Mavericks are controlling the boards on their own board, but they can't put it back in.
No clean putbacks. There is a lot of contact. Both teams playing tough. And the officials calling it the same way in both directions. But again, that time the Mavericks fighting themselves for the board.
Here's one by Jackson. It's no good. Scott tries to follow. He falls down. They fight under the board. It's no good. Scott tips it in. Boy, you talk about a tussle of muscle. My goodness. Scott unofficially has 14.
Plenty of second chance opportunities for the home squad Mavericks, and finally able to get one to pay off above the rim.
The shot blocked. Nice play by Scott. He rejected the 3. You're down to 27 seconds. Time for one last. Effort from the field. It's 40-35. Nada will be patient. Letting the clock wind down.
Bulldogs trailed by 9 at the half. It looks like going into the final quarter, at least right now, only trailing by 5. A bit more manageable.
The 3, no good. Nada can't follow, and it's going to be a prayer, and it's going to be almost in from half court.
Yeah, he had a couple more dribbles he probably could have taken. But knowing the Bulldogs, that's their range. They just assume take it as far away as possible. 40-35 going into the 4th quarter.
And the Mavericks are going to have to find a way to overcome this 3-point eagle-eye shooting by the Bulldogs. From there's the effort. Whew, that was close.
That right there, no doubt, had it gone, would have been the Time Warner go for 3.
Might have been one of the shots of the year, too. We'll be back. It's 40-35 after 3.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
We
expected wild and woolly. Fourth and final period.
Maverick basketball.
Gary, 8 more minutes to play. One of these teams will be headed to Austin next week. One of these teams will be wrapping up a great season.
Lotta out front. Comes over to Jackson. One thing they haven't been able to do much is go inside to Wilkins. You notice that? Lotta underneath. Scott. There they go inside. They do what I just said.
Somebody's tuned in.
Wilkins. That's his first field goal, I think. 42-35. 7:30 to play in the game.
Yeah, he just had 4 points the other night. Not a big contribution. Of course, he got some rest late in the second half.
Garcia almost traveled on the catch. And now he's picked up out front by Jackson. Martinez picked up by Lotta. 7:15 to play. 7-point lead. Martinez still has it on the dribble. Gets a pick, but a nice steal. The Mavericks have it. And this is Scott in the forecourt to Lotta. 7 minutes to play. Underneath. Scott up and good.
Smart play. Getting the big man in the post, and he himself realizes he's got a mismatch.
14 for Scott unofficially. Out front on the dribble. Garcia. Whistle.
Timeout.
Timeout. 6:45 to go. 9-point lead. The Mavericks, are they going to be able to smell the roses? Looking for the Austin Garden. On the road to Austin. This is March Madness high school style. And there's a jersey for Carlton Scott. No wonder, because that kid can play basketball.
Yeah, the Maverick fans on their feet. Of course, they didn't have a long drive to get here. Here you see another short trip to the rim and put up and off the glass. That's what height can do for you. Bulldogs have battled, as you mentioned earlier, in the paint as much as possible. But after a while, it's got to give. It's back to another 9-point deficit for the squad from Laredo Alexander here in the fourth quarter.
Bird orange and blue, the colors there. Some of the Maverick fans. 14 to 1,500 or maybe more this afternoon in this regional final on Region 4.
And you know, there's a UTSA women's game to follow, and those guys might as well just stick around.
Hey, are those guys getting triple time today? 44-35, 6:45 to play in the game. And the Maverick fans bring them out. Bulldog basketball. 9 rebounds, 18 points for Carlton. 3 blocks and an assist. Martinez out front. Lotta picks him up. He kicks the ball. Gets it back over, though, to Cruz, back to Martinez. They don't want him to pop that 3. He will drive. Up. He got it. Nice dribble drive. He goes up with the big guys and gets the basket.
Yeah, the defender for the Mavericks is going to have to pick up his shorts after that one. Just fake completely, opening up the lane.
Now John Valenzuela wants a little patience. This is Rashawn Jackson. Underneath, wide open, and
a lot of contact, no call.
Up and no good, and they try it again. It's no good. Into the hands of the Bulldogs. They had 4 shots and missed it. Long pass, and Martinez gets it over quickly to Garcia, and he traveled. That's the first call I've seen like that in a long time.
Well, and both sides want contact called on both ends, and after all that, the whistle you get isn't a foul, it's the carry. And we have been talking about that carry all day long. The guard play, a lot of the times, it's not just the fancy footwork, but the fact that they're palming the ball.
And listen, Lincoln, they don't even call that in the NBA anymore. 44-37, 5:50 to play. Jackson to Wilkins. Drives, charging.
Yeah. Left his feet, came down with a strong move. Unfortunately, somebody else is already owning that real estate.
When a guy is there, you just don't want to force your way in. Coaches tell you in fundamental practice, don't force your way into the middle. See, he did. The guy was already there. So now they go into that full court zone trap press again.
7-point differential here.
You're down to 5:40. Garcia picked up out front by Jackson. Garcia falls down and he dives for it. He slides and it's going to be a jump ball. That should have been a travel because he slid 6 inches after he got the ball.
We can get into basketball fundamentals some other time. Yeah, little belly slide with the ball. Technically, it could be traveling, but right there, they go ahead, go with the jump ball. And
it goes to
it'll go back to Bulldogs. Next possession arrow will favor the Mavericks.
They're going to call force out on Travis Smith. But not shooting yet, shouldn't be anyway.
No, 5 team fouls against the Mavericks, 3 team fouls committed by the Bulldogs so far with 5.5 to go.
44-37. Mavericks need a defensive stand here. And double team. And back to Martinez.
Clean entry pass would have gotten you a layup, but instead, just a little bit of miscommunication.
Here's the shot. No good this time. And it's controlled underneath by Scott to Lotta. 5:10 to play. Cross court. Scott, Lotta. I said Scott. It was Jackson. Underneath. Wide open. Laying up. And then is Smith. Good assist.
Yeah, Smith could have gone above the rim. Wisely got the sure 2 points off the glass.
46-37. Pretty low scoring with 2 high-powered offenses.
Mavericks are playing with a 6th man now, and that's the clock.
Oh, what a great Archie almost finger roll by Martinez, who is one heck of a player. He's a junior.
There's no need to feel any urgency here to get those points back on the board. They just need to milk some time off the clock here at the high school level. You pretty much can do that for as long as you want.
Now they're going to be a little more patient. Lotta fakes left, goes back right over to Travis Smith. This is to Scott. Goes up under. What a great dribble drive. He missed it. But the tip is up and in by Scott. Boy, he was the right man at the right time when he got 20.
Back to a 9-point lead for the Mavericks.
Shot is up and in. What a great entry pass. Good call. Offensively, as getting the basket with Ramos again. He's got 5.
Yeah, when the Bulldogs are actually able to penetrate and get into the paint, they've had some success despite having a little bit of a difference in height.
3:50 to go. In the corner. Cross court comes over to Rashawn Jackson. Underneath to Carlton Scott. He lays it up. It's no good.
Yeah, great hands by Scott. Just could not get the basket to fall.
And now Martinez will race it to the forecourt like Seabiscuit. He will drive. He pumps. It is good.
Bulldogs playing their kind of basketball.
48-44. What a great player.
Same shooting that got them to the regional final.
He's got 20 unofficially.
They are back within 4.
48-44. You're down to 3:10. Lotta. John Valenzuela gives him instruction. Now they want to go for a more deliberate style of play, I think. He will just dribble the ball and let the clock run down. 2:55. 2:50. Time ticking away. Now they'll come out to get him, maybe. Bounces it over to Jackson. Cross court. Back to Lotta. Comes over to Catlett.
Laredo fans not happy because the Mavericks right now are just playing keep away, trying to run that clock.
Over to Jackson. And comes out to Lotta. Double team. Top of the key. The shot in the corner. No good. And Scott falls down. This is Lotta. And whistle foul call on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they bailed him out. Mavericks again got the rebound, had another chance to take some time off the clock. It's not the prettiest basketball you're going to see, but for a team that's determined to make their way to Austin and have already seen their lead shrink as it has, Mavericks right now playing a bit more desperate.
48-44, and this is the beautiful three-point shot. Jump, pump, 3.
Yeah, Martinez able to get the open look and not scared to take that shot.
Catlett back in. Underneath. Wide open. He missed it. He lays it up. It's no good as a whistle and a foul underneath. They've missed at least 10 shots underneath today.
Well, and again, the Mavericks, each time they get the ball that close to the rim, it's a heartbreaker if it actually would go in because they not only get all that time off the clock, but they're also putting points on the board. Here are a couple of free throws. Very important free throws to make it 2 possession to tie.
Very important. First one. Good. Rashawn Jackson is a heck of a player.
Yeah, one more and it'll be 6 points. And that may have the Bulldogs thinking three-pointer even more often than they do anyways.
The shot. Boom. He's got 8.
Yeah,
50 to 44.
Nice to see Jackson with such a healthy stroke there from behind the free throw line.
2 minutes to go and 5 seconds. Martinez trying to get loose for a three. Now it goes to Garcia. Less than two. 50-44. He drives to the baseline. And still has it on the dribble. 1:50 to go. If I have one criticism, they dribble too much. They need to pass the ball more.
Well, that's gotten them in trouble. However, they also sometimes...
Here's a three. No good this time. Out of the hands of Wilkins.
They'll also sometimes pick up their dribble a little too early.
Yeah. Cross-court pass almost stolen, knocked out of bounds.
Well, it's good effort there. The Bulldogs broke up the pass. Mavericks will hang on to it, but slowing down the momentum.
1:36 to go, 6-point lead. Lotta on the dribble, pressured by Garcia. Goes to the right side and leaves it off out front for Rashawn Jackson to Lotta. Holds up, double team. And I think he calls a timeout.
Yeah, it looked like he got a timeout before any jump ball.
Yeah. 1:22 to go.
Yeah. Smart play. You got two guys on you. They're actually going cleanly at the ball and almost tied him up. Of course, the possession arrow does favor the Mavericks. They've got that going for them right now, 50 to 44, hanging on to that 6-point advantage.
Each team has 5 personals. And now a little last-minute strategy is Val is mapping out what he wants done. I'm Gerd along with Lincoln Rose, and we hope you've enjoyed it. It's going to be shown on Time Warner, and for the next few weeks, you'll be able to see these two great high school basketball teams. By the way, I appreciate you letting me work with you again. It's been fun. I appreciate you letting me take the other side of the mic, because you're a heck of a color guy, and I'm not.
Well, we enjoy it, Gary. Again, Time Warner, another opportunity here to work with the community. We had football all throughout the fall, and now some high school basketball near March Madness approaching. And we've seen two very impressive teams, and they're both impressive for different reasons.
Absolutely. Now you've got 1:22 to go, and each team has a foul to give. And I think that's what probably will happen. I use probably twice in the same sentence, though. Maverick basketball. Lotta, Catlett, Wilkins, Jackson, and Scott. Catlett will take, nope. Lotta has to get it off quickly to Jackson. Lotta, Catlett puts it on the floor to Wilkins. Goes across court to Lotta. Almost traveled. In the corner. Scott kicks it to Wilkins. Lays it in.
Determination and elevation.
And patience on the pass. 1:02 to go. 1 minute to go. 8-point lead.
1 minute.
Martinez tries to loosen it out of bounds on the dribble.
That's come back to bite. The Bulldogs have had some sloppy passes. They look like they shored up that issue here in the second half.
I'm telling you, they are a great shooting team, but you sometimes take a tendency to dribble too much to get that open three.
8 points may be insurmountable with less than a minute to go.
49 seconds. Catlett. They may have to foul here. They got one to give. Comes back over to Wilkins. The big guy gives it to Lotta. And Carlton Scott. They swing it now. Catlett is fouled.
Yeah, a little touch foul there. It'll stop the clock.
33 seconds. It looks more and more like the Mavericks are going to move on to Austin.
You wouldn't mind committing that foul perhaps a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it should have been done at the minute mark at least. What do I know about basketball coaching? Luis Valdez is a great coach. Rashawn Jackson has fouled again. This time a desperation foul by Eric Cardenas. He's only 5'8". He plays like he's 6'3". At the line, Rashawn Jackson.
Made both of his last two attempts.
Unofficially 3 field goals. 52-44, 31 seconds to go. If he hits these, it's over.
Yeah, that hurts. He'll get the back end of the 1-and-1.
53-44. Be a 10-point margin, and there's no way they can overcome that unless the roof caves in.
Gary, let me make a prediction. Win or lose, Laredo's going to get a standing ovation from their fans seated right behind us.
I'd like to join them. 10-point lead, 31 seconds. What a great season Laredo has had. The Bulldogs have been the big dog on the block. And they'll have to get rid of it or shoot it. Here's a shot. No good. Into the hands of Catlett, and that's going to be the game. Foul in the backcourt with 14.2.
Bulldogs are going to make the last 14 seconds of their season last as long as possible and cherish this moment here in San Antonio.
54-44. The Mavericks move on to the state semifinals. Only 4 teams will be left.
Bulldogs coming in with a substitution after this first free throw, and actually, no, they'll let him check in right now.
Yeah, they'll clear the bench.
Ramos will come off. Coming in, as you mentioned, a shallow bench, but this will be Abraham Paz.
Number 4, Gerald Ward.
That's who you got.
Vaquera. Scott at the line for Madison.
Simmons. Here's the shot. Good. Carlton Scott. I think he has 21 unofficially.
11-point lead, the largest lead tonight.
And he missed this one, but it makes a little difference. That's the ball game anyway, 12 seconds. 55-44, Martinez. No good. Rashawn Jackson clears away. The Mavericks move on to Austin, my friends. And that's the ball game. 55
Ladies and gentlemen, our final score, San Antonio Madison 55. Laredo Alexander 44.
Bulldogs have plenty of heart. And there you have a look at the two coaches, both with plenty of respect for one another. And appropriately, one does move on to the tournament to represent the region.
The Mavericks now go to 36-4. Hard to believe, this is the 40th game, my friends, and there's Carlton Scott, 21 points to lead the point producers for the Mavericks and for the afternoon.
The Mavericks were able to play their bench much of their last game, but the Bulldogs made them keep their starters out there. We'll see if the Mavericks can recover and have a strong showing at state.
55-44, and it was closer than the score indicates. We want to welcome you to the next week of high school playoffs because I know you'll be interested. We want to thank you for being with us today. 55-44, the Bulldogs of Laredo Alexander losing by 11 to these moving, marvelous Madison Mavericks on to Austin, 55-44. I'm Gary DeLon from Lincoln Rose. I want to thank you for joining us on Time Warner. Goodbye, everybody.